Clinker Factor, the cement industry podcast.
Welcome to the Clinker Factor, a podcast from WCA, which looks at the cement industry's response to climate change around the world and other topics of interest. I'm Ian Riley, CEO of WCA, and your host on the Clinker Factor. Before we get started today, I want to draw your attention to the 2023 WCA Annual Conference, which will be held on October the 24th and the 25th at Emirates Towers in Dubai. So please secure your place by registering now, and we'll put a registration link in the episode notes. Today I'm talking to Siegfried Andraess, Global Industry Manager for Building Material Industries at SICK AG. We're going to be talking about the impact of process automation on the cement industry and focusing on energy efficiency, carbon footprint, and safety. So, Ziggy, welcome. Could we start by asking you to introduce yourself and how you have come to be working in the cement industry?
Hello, Ian. Yeah, thank you very much. Of course, you can ask. My name, as you said, is Siegfried Andraess, and I'm within 25 years now with SICK, working in various positions. Quite nice development, I believe, from product responsibility to market responsibility and now to industry responsibility. The last now 10 years responsible for building materials, which covers cement, lime, glass, and pulp and paper industry in our organization. And yeah, I'm happy to have a discussion with you together today.
Thanks, Ziggy. Well, let's kick off, if you don't mind, by just introducing our listeners to SICK. I know SICK is a German-based company and has 75 years experience, but tell us more about SICK.
So it was founded by Dr. Erwin SICK more than 75 years back. And now we developed up to more than 12,000 employees around the world. Net sales was 2.2 billion in 2022. And interesting part is definitely that we are investing more than 10% of our net sales in R&D. And we are working on three main clusters, I would say. It's factory automation, logistics automation, and process automation. And I'm representing the process automation part, and there building materials belongs to. And in total, we have more than 40,000 products. And what most of the listeners will most probably don't know, there are many sensor system solutions, and beside the analyzer solutions for the emission monitoring and process monitoring in the various industries.
So let's just explore process automation's impact on cement production. So when you think about process automation, what does it mean to you, and how can it improve cement production?
Our broad variety of products is definitely not only focused on the emission and process analyzers. We also are able to deliver a lot of sensor solutions for the automation. And we all know, I think, that there is a big difference in the automation grade, especially in the cement industry. And many sensors can be used, of course, for the reducing the man-made impact on processes, and can automate processes using, of course, different interfaces and protocols to make the processes more safe and faster, reducing downtime and increasing availability, reduce energy consumption. And this is, I think, here the sensor usage has the most positive impact on automation.
Do you see a big difference in the number of sensors that different cement plants have? So between, if you like, the most automated and the least automated, is there a big difference in the number of sensors that are on a line?
I think so, definitely. Yeah. So I would say in the sensor grade in European cement plants is definitely much higher, and North American, for example, than in the Southeast Asian region, because there I think we are aware of that much more employees are working within the cement plants. And as more people, as less sensors, and other way around, as more sensors, as less people. And that you also see if you look at the number of employees in, let's say, cement plants of the developed countries, that there are much lower than in the developing countries.
Yes. Yeah. No, as you say, the big difference between perhaps less than 100 and many hundreds. I suppose that there must be types of sensors that you see people using more in the last 10 years or so that have become much more popular recently. What types of sensors have become more popular, let's say, in the last 10 years?
Yeah, I think from our point of view, beside the emission monitoring systems, which are in most of the countries mandatory, we see definitely an increase of the process automation sensors and analyzers for the preheater, pyro process, and clinker production. And we also see for the conveyor belt, for the bulk material handling, really a strong increase, because that's one of the most important parts used in a cement plant. More or less for each and any product, bulk material conveyors are used for the transportation, and they need to be available 24/7, 365 days a year. And here, there with the sensor solutions, we are definitely able to support the customer to get and reach really very high availability and high accuracy of the bulk material flow, for example. So bulk scan based on LiDAR technology is one product we are using, and also radar technology is also more and more used for these applications.
If you look at the different applications for the different sensors, what do you think has had the most impact in terms of improving efficiencies or safety or availability?
You mean which technology, or?
Yeah, which automation technologies have had the greatest impact?
So definitely the LiDAR and the vision technologies. Yeah, that's definitely the two ones which more and more are showing their performance. That's I think very important, that we know they are performing in factory automation and logistics automation. We're using them for barcode reading and barcode tags and such things. And now we show our customers in the building materials industries that these technologies are also suitable in the usage in their plant, for example, for the volume flow measurement. And we can gain some additional advantages out of these sensor readings. We can determine the center of gravity, for example, on the conveyor belt, from the material on the conveyor belt, the bulk edge filling if the conveyor belt is overloaded. So we can collect a lot of information for our customers, which are very useful for them to not overload for the conveyor belt and to ensure a stable and safe operation of the conveyor belt. Yeah, I mentioned LiDAR technologies. I mentioned the radar technology. This 80 gigahertz technology is now established in the markets, and we have, beside that, ultrasonic measurements also. Yeah, any optical technology which is more or less available, we have implemented in one of our sensor solutions.
So you mentioned earlier the use of sensors to monitor emissions. Can you elaborate a little bit on that and the kind of data that those sensors generate?
So we are offering the complete package, means from the dust measurement, from the clinker stack, for example, to the gas emission gas analysis at the clinker stack. Also, dust measurement is based on transmission or on scattered light technology, where we are having a history of more than 60 years in dust measurement from SIG. The first device was also developed by Dr. Erwin Sieg for the dust measurement. Gases, we know all common gases of NO, NO2, CO, CO2, more and more HCl, HF is forced to measure, yet as more alternative fuels are burned, more components are included. Here we are having also three different technologies to measure. We have in situ technology, we have cold extractive and hot extractive devices, depending on the application needs. And we have also ultrasonic flow measurement for measurement the gas flow at the stack. So complete product portfolio, and also the evaluation is done by our own system, and then we can support the customer in reporting to the authority.
And so these are giving online sort of real-time results. Is that correct?
This is always real-time measurements, of all parts, means dust, gas, and flow. Real-time measurements, and then online reporting to the authorities if necessary.
And does this data help cement plants to optimize their combustion?
Yeah, that's more and more, I think, now used to by the customers, because they see that they can gain some advantages out of the readings they have for the emission which they are forced to measure. And now they notice that this information, also with this information, they can recalculate and recalculate some main parameters of their process: fuel consumption, energy consumption, exhaust gases, and some more detailed process information which they can gain out of this information. And they use it now to optimize also, for example, the clinker burning process. Earlier it was, if the information is, they get the information with, or the information they get is too old, let's say. But anyhow, today with the timestamps of the different readings, you can use them anyhow to do a proper recalculation and react on things which have occurred during the readings, or during these process readings.
So in principle, that ought to help reduce a cement plant's carbon footprint. But I imagine there's some challenges in actually using the data in that way.
In which relation you mean?
I'm thinking that, from an implementation standpoint, it's not always easy to get cement plants, either the management team or for that matter, the operators, to change the way in which they actually run the plant. So even though they have new data available, there's a kind of change management challenge as well as the technical one of measuring and reporting the results. Is that something you get involved in terms of helping cement plants to implement your solutions in practice?
In general, I think our equipment can be used for reducing the carbon footprint, especially if we look at the topic of increasing the usage of alternative fuels and raw materials. This means definitely a change in the process conditions of the clinker production, which was in the past a very stable one. But now with the mix of the alternative fuels and raw materials, that's not that homogeneous as before. And as more information you now get about the new complex process conditions, and you can use them for adapting, of course, the raw material feed, the alternative fuel material feed, the process conditions, the temperature in the clinker cooler. You can adapt according to the informations. So there is a lot of usage out of this information. But I also believe, we need to learn together with the customers, what can be needed from the output from our analyzers to improve the overall performance in the processes. And that is what we are working quite close with our customers and also other experts to help customers to improve the efficiency and reduce energy usage and increase cost safety.
You mentioned earlier the analyzer systems, and I think so. You have these smart sensor and analyzer systems that are intended to enable process improvements. Can you explain how that works and how that's different from regular sensors, if you like?
Yeah, of course. So that's something we have available for analyzers and sensors already. That means we are getting the vital data of the sensors or analyzers at any place you want. You can have it on your phone, via app on the phone or desktop or notebook, whatever. And then you get the vital data of the sensor. You get the actual status. You get some visual hints. Green is everything is okay. Orange is a warning, and red there is a failure. And with this, you get, if there is a failure, you get also information where to look at, what to do to solve this issue. This helps a lot to reduce unexpected downtime. And in addition, we evaluate this information to offer our customers preventive maintenance, to replace parts of analyzed, for example, only when needed and not on a periodically time frame. And therefore, this information is definitely very, very helpful and prepares also our service technician, if needed, to go on site, that they are equipped with the right spare parts and equipment equipment to solve the customer's issue on site. So this is, as said, condition monitoring. That's, I think, the next big step in the industries, which will help to increase the availability and reduce the downtime, because we are much more effective and we do maintenance and service in a preventive way.
I think this is a very interesting topic because it relates to the way that employees engage with the process and indeed the way that they're managed as well. So we're going to talk about safety in a moment. And obviously, employee engagement is really critical in safety. And so you can see when you have a system like a hot work permit, that the way in which that's implemented, either as a training opportunity or simply a tick box exercise, makes a huge difference to the results you get. So I think this is very interesting in terms of whether having something on your phone, which is, something that's pretty dear to everybody and something they look at all the time, is really helpful in terms of engaging employees with process. But before we come on to that, let me ask one question that often comes up in conversations with cement plants about automation and about using the cloud, and that is data security. And I'm sure you have solutions for data security, but what are your comments on that and about the risks that cement plants have if they use a sort of two-way engagement using smartphones and other devices? Do they take a big risk in terms of data security?
So cybersecurity is always a big topic, and also within our company we have a very stringent cybersecurity policies. And what we try to offer our customers is always, let's say, safe solutions, as safe as they can be in the cyber ambient, definitely. So we have cloud-based solutions, which is more and more common, I think. But we also have, you can also save your data on a local-based platform. So that's the final decision is always on the customer side, how he wants to have his data secured and stored, and where he wants to have it stored, and that we avoid an unwanted impact from outside. And so there we are asking also our experts to discuss with the customers' experts how to ensure the highest safety for the data transmission and the data availability.
See, one of the hot topics in the industry at the moment is CCUS. I imagine this is an area where process automation and sensors can help to optimize the efficiency. What are you doing in this area?
That's a very hot topic for the cement industry, actually, and we are working on different fields because there are many different technologies available for the carbon capture, utilization and storage. So I would say the storage part is the easier one. It's not that complex, but anyhow also challenging. But for the utilization part, that's the thing where we are working close together with the main technology providers, for oxy-fuel solutions, for example. And therefore we are in strong relation and conversation with those to prepare for the future, to measure the right components in the right measurement ranges, to define where to measure even. So there we are really in close cooperation, and that's a very interesting topic, of course, for us. And as soon as you have captured the CO2, for example, then you have the question regarding transportation. Is it via pipeline, via trucks, and how to measure the quality of the CO2, how many CO2 you have captured. And here we are also already having solutions from our Flow6 available and developing more, of course, because the demands are increasing. And our target is to also be a supplier along the complete value chain in the carbon capture, utilization and storage project. And as said, we have already solutions developed. We have already more than 10 years experience. We started more than 10 years back with the first carbon capture utilization project. projects, and now are really interested in getting close contacts to the technology providers, that we are prepared for the future with the right products to measure the CO2, the H2, e-methane, and what else is coming up with this carbon capture.
Ziggy, what utilization applications have you been looking at? So you mentioned utilization. So utilization in sim fuels, or what kind of applications are you looking at?
We are actually looking at all of them. Yeah, so we are active in the storage one. We are looking for the utilization for e-fuels. We also in the, it's called the circular economy, yeah, where you intend to produce green hydrogen, yeah, with electrolysis in between, with methane development, with e-fuel production. So here, let's say that's the home of SIG for our gas measurements, yeah, and here we are really very active in all directions, yeah, because today we can't foresee which, or I don't believe that there is one major technology. There will be a variety of technologies, and for those variety, you need to be prepared. Yeah, the key question is to find out which will become the most important ones. Yeah. So beside oxy-fuel and amine scrubber systems, yeah, and amine scrubber is not amine scrubber. That means there are also varieties there, and for this you also need to prepare. And that's what we are actively working on.
Let's just turn to how automation solutions can help with safety. I already mentioned the possibility of improving employee engagement with the smart sensors and the smartphone connections. How do you look at this? Because you have this concept of automation solutions along the complete value chain. So what does that mean to you?
Definitely. So that's one of the strengths of our product portfolio. So we start from the quarry to dispatch. That's one of our slogan. And for example, in the quarry, we are using collision awareness systems. These are mainly LiDAR sensors or camera systems mounted on the wheel loaders or trucks to avoid collisions or to have a safe driving around the quarry. That's a simple solution. And coming from the mining industry, yeah, so means it shows its performance there already, and then ongoing with for the crusher for the raw material conveyor belt to the plant. There we can use the bulk scan, for example, for measuring the volume, the raw material volume entering the plant. And we also have again distance sensors for the stacker reclaimer applications within the plant. We have coal mill, coal silo applications with X-proof versions for analyzer systems there. And clinker process, I mentioned already, complete pyro process, preheater, calciner, kiln measurement systems, and emission. That's where we are coming from. That's the history of SIG, where we have become most strong in the emission monitoring systems. And then dispatch means stretch wrappers, backpacking, and palletizing of the cement bags. There we have hundreds of sensor solutions, and that's most of the listeners don't know that this is, especially the packaging part, is one of the big fields of SIG, where we are one of the top 3 suppliers in the world in the packaging industry, and there it's let's say easy for us to adapt those applications also into the cement industry.
And presumably also on the dispatch side, you have other traffic safety. I mean, similar to the quarry, you can apply other traffic safety monitoring or sensors.
Yeah, for the forklifts, for example, or for the truck loading, for the truck volume measurement. Yeah, you can even measure how many, or the filling level of a truck. If you think about solutions or cement manufacturers in Southeast Asia, India, where a lot of or most of the cement is still in bags available, and they fill their trucks with cement bags. You can have a truck volume measurement also based on LiDAR systems, a very precise one. So traffic sensors, load volume sensors in different varieties and applications are also available. and again also shown their performance already in other industries. We simply need to adapt them to the more rough ambient conditions, let's say in the cement industry. But along the complete value chain, I think there is a solution from SICK, either sensor system or analyzer solution.
Great. Well, that's a very interesting and given us plenty of food for thought, Ziggy. So just to recap the main points, I think really you've made the case that process automation can optimize various stages of production, reduce downtime, and help inform decision-making on real-time data, and so contribute to energy efficiency and carbon footprint reduction as well as safety. So on the safety theme, for those of you who missed the member forum on September the 5th, you can find it on our YouTube channel. Put the link in the show notes. And on the safety theme again, we're organizing a safety workshop on October the 25th at our Dubai conference in cooperation with SICK, PPC, and other members of the Safety and Health Committee. So I hope you'll be able to join us in Dubai for the workshop as well as the wider conference. So Ziggy, thank you very much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you in Dubai.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you for the invitation, and let's see us in Dubai. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Clinker Factor podcast today. If you've enjoyed it, do subscribe and please recommend us to friends and colleagues and anyone else who you think would be interested in what's happening in the cement and concrete industry around the world. WCA is a not-for-profit company. Please visit our website to see the services that we offer